Here with Miami coach Anthony Noreen ahead of this weekend's non-conference series against RPI, and we will take some questions.
Coach, got the split last weekend against Lindenwood. Made some good adjustments between the Friday game and the Saturday game. So, kind of, you've had a few days to kind of look over things. Give us your assessment of what happened last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think Friday we certainly had the better of chances and puck play, and thought it was one where we probably should have found a way to put a couple more pucks in the net. Again, just some massive mistakes that we need to avoid. Obviously, you lose the special teams, which has been so crucial to this team, any team, but this team in the early going. To give up a shorthanded goal, give up a power play goal, like those are just key moments, and obviously you want to be in the difference in the game. And then, you get a push late, and it was a little bit too little too late. And then on Saturday, it was a little bit of a different type of game where you get a lead, you go into the third period with a lead, and then you just run into everything that they could possibly throw against you. A kill, another kill, a 5-minute kill, right down to the end. I thought it was a really important and crucial team-building moment for us. We talk about what we want the foundation of Miami hockey to be, what we want to build this culture around, what we want our identity to be, the things we want to celebrate. I think you saw all those on display in that last, call it 10 to 12 minutes of the third period. The first thing is what's your response and what's your reaction when things go wrong. And very easily, you get through a kill, you get through another really hard-fought kill, and you find out once you get through that kill, you're going on another 5-minute kill. And I don't think there was a head that dropped on our bench. It was okay, like, let's go. Like, it's a one-goal game. This is a great opportunity for us. And I think you saw that throughout the kill. You got through that first minute. We had a breakaway earlier on the kill. Then you score a shorty, which was a huge moment for us. We get another 2-on-1 almost score. And I think, on top of that, what we really loved was just the emotion on the bench, guys picking each other up, the block shots right down to the end. Dahl's made some big saves. You got a fifth-year senior who's tied for the lead on your team in scoring, diving head first to block a shot in a 4-1 game with 8 seconds left. That, to me, tells you everything you need to know about somebody. And I think those, like I said, going back to how I started, just team-building moments, what we want to be, what we want to celebrate, what we want Miami hockey to be moving forward. I think that was a really good step for us and something we could certainly build on.
You've talked a couple of times about how important shorthanded goals can be in a game, that more times than not, if you score a shorthanded goal, you're going to win a game. That happened in both cases this past weekend. But you've also talked about how much of a momentum builder a 5-minute kill can be. Now, the good part of that was you did that. The bad part is you've had 4 chances now to do that here in the first 8 games.
Yeah, not ideal for 4 in 8 games. And we scored 2 shorties on the 4, knock on wood. But I think those have been, again, what's a little bit different about a 5-minute kill as opposed to a 2-minute kill is you're going to have to use more guys. Sometimes you could get through a 2-minute kill with using 4 different D and maybe 5 or 6 forwards. You get them on, you get them off, you get them on and get them off. Whereas you get into those 5 minutes, I mean, you need to lengthen your bench and you need to get more guys out there. So more guys are involved. Obviously, you're down a guy that's, serving it. You're down a guy that gets kicked out, and now just a lot more guys involved, engaged. But I think those are just moments, man, you talk about momentum swings, and you talk about, like I said, team building, emotional moments. I mean, that feel on the bench. I mean, that's like, it's hard to replicate that in life. There's no way to describe it. That feel of a group of guys that are totally committed, that have each other's backs, that are willing to sacrifice, do the work, and are feeding off each other emotionally, while also maintaining structure and discipline in the kill. Those are special moments. That's why you do it. That's what you remember. And again, not an ideal situation, but I thought we handled it really well. Again, like you'll hear me say a million times, the important thing is what our reaction was, and our reaction was to go out as a group of guys. And Dahl's made some huge saves. We had a bunch of different guys step up and either get the puck stopped and get it cleared, or get shot blocks, or win a race, or win a battle. And again, I think it's something we can learn from, and something we could certainly now put in our back pocket. Hey, we've been here before. Guys, we might be in this situation again. When it comes up again the next time, fellas, we've done this. Let's build momentum off it. Let's not hang our heads. Let's go out and attack it.
Coach, offensively, Saturday got scoring from a lot of different places. And early in the season, started out 2-0-2, and you were getting scoring from up and down the lineup. How big of a lift was that for the team to, you get Vito with his first goal, you get Frankie with his first goal of the season to kind of spread that scoring out?
Yeah, I think a little bit of everything is in specifically to Saturday scoring. First off, a guy like Frankie, who we all know what his workload's like and how much he cares and what his efforts like night in and night out. You always love to see those guys get rewarded. It's no different than when Mess scores, early on in the first game or two. Like it was huge to get Frankie on the board. And then to get a guy like Casper, who's a young guy who's still building confidence and try, again, it was a big night for our power play to rebound and get back. So that was big for him and for that unit specifically. And then for Vito, like he's a guy that was challenged. He was challenged pretty hard by our staff, and to go out and respond and score a short-handed goal. And I thought really his second and third period were arguably the strongest of the season. Because of how he played in the second, he earned himself on the kill in the third, and he goes out and scores a short-handed goal, and that was a real dagger. And you saw, I think, the emotion in him come out after scoring that goal. And rightfully so. And then right down to the end, I mean, the empty net goal, usually the guys that deserve it get empty net goals. It's usually not by a fluke. I've always just, for whatever reason, it's the guys that play hard that maybe don't always get the credit, that maybe it's not going for them, that wind up getting an empty net goal. But Dawes makes a huge save. Philly scores an empty net goal. What we loved about it, again, getting back to what we want to be and what our identity is, the coolest thing about that, and Nizey picked it up on video, is they come through the line after, and right away, it wasn't about them. Both Moltz and Philly go directly to Dawes. They don't even want the celebration of a goal, of an assist on the shorty. They want to go pick up the guy who started it all in Dawes. And I thought, for us, that was, again, talk about the things we want to celebrate. It's guys being great teammates and picking each other up. And so I think, again, different guys scoring for different reasons. It's something to grow or something to build on. And again, I think it's something we need to continue to get better at. We need to continue to grow. We need to score by committee, and we need different guys to step up on different nights. Saturday was a good example of that. I think if we could have had a similar thing, you would have probably liked a better result on Friday. So it's something we need to see here in this last weekend, certainly going into conference play.
You mentioned Casper, and he ends up getting rewarded, but that's after earlier. I think there was a power play where the puck jumps his stick, and then and there's another open look for him. They just misses, and for him to come back and get that goal and be able to put that behind him, how's he able to shake that off, and what's that mean for him?
Yeah, I mean, we joked in video the other day that we just wanted to keep that offensive shift going when he put that one in the corner. That Johnny does a great job and creates some separation and puts it to him there. And again, he's a guy that's going to put that in the back of the net probably 99 out of 100 times. It doesn't go, but again, next play mentality. What's your response going to be? How are you going to react? And Casper's a guy that I just think goal scorers, so much of it is a confidence thing. It's a feel thing. It's a mindset thing, and I think he's feeling it. I think you see him scoring in practice. He doesn't need much. He doesn't need much of a window, and his confidence is there right now to just fire pucks. And there wasn't much of a window to shoot that puck through, and there was a guy standing right there and a goalie square to it, and it was a big-time shot. So, again, that's something we are going to need. We're going to need that from other guys. We're going to continue to need that from him, and certainly on that power play because, I mean, as you've seen, a lot of our offense has come from there. So we need to add some 5-on-5, but that's an area we need to continue to grow in as well.
Looking overall at the offense, we've talked before about you telling the team you want to see them selective with their shots. You want to take really good shots. Now, 17 shots on goal. Obviously, there's other variables. You've got the lead, but 3 shots in the third period, 17. Maybe want to see a few more than that. You're not going to shoot 67% in that third period every time.
And listen, I think that third period, you're probably also not going to kill for whatever it was, 9 minutes of a period. Either, at least you hope not, and then 6-on-5 as well. So, again, not ideal, but I think that's just what it's part of the ebbs and flows of a game and of a season. There's going to be different situations that come up that call for different things. And in that situation we were in a situation where we were going to have to defend. And again, the other thing that killing and then killing again and then killing again does it takes you out of offensive rhythm in that third period. Like we felt going into it, we're like, all right, this is a chance to put a team away. But then the way that things shook out, it was more of, okay, this is a chance where we just need to play really good team defense. We need to be detailed on our penalty kill. We need to block shots. We need to get pucks out and get them in. And, hey, that's credit to our guys for realizing that's what it was going to take. And I thought we did a really good job. And we really limited their scoring chances. They might have had some shots, but given the amount of power play time they had, we really limited their quality chances. And, again, you certainly – when I say selective, we need more than 3 in a period. So I thought Friday night was probably a better Probably a better look at what we want to be like. I think we were in 23 scoring chances. I don't know what the exact shot total was, but we look at chances, and for us that was a good number.
It was a tough series. You knew it was going in. It was going to be a physically tough series. How do you think your guys kind of came through that? How did they handle that physicality?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a major message to our guys last week going in, was just what the physical demands are going to be playing for this team, what the expectation is, what the standard is from every guy. We don't care what line you're on or how many points you've scored or anything like that. Like, it is a physically demanding, taxing style that we're going to play. I thought we had a really good start to that on Friday. I didn't think we maintained it all that well through probably the back half of the game on Friday. And I thought we got back to it on Saturday. And I felt like I didn't think necessarily it looked like we were going out of our way. It's not about running guys over. It is about being hard. When they touch a puck, they know you're going to get through them. When they are at our net front, they know it's going to be a physical battle. And when we're at their net front, we're going to be hard. I thought we just did a really good job up and down our lineup on Saturday of just making sure we were hard in the right areas, that we did a good job at both net fronts, specifically our own. I mean, there were a lot of pucks laying there throughout the game that we did a good job of getting underneath sticks and clearing guys out. I thought we did a way better job on Saturday getting at their goaltender, of making it hard on him and taking his eyes away and creating second and third opportunities. But again, it is going to be an ever-evolving thing. We're still learning, just, again, how demanding it is. The game's demanding. And it's a game that's played hard, and it's a game that's played physically, and that is how we are going to play. And like I said, we don't care what your skill set is. That is a non-negotiable for us, is to play the game hard and play it physical. And hopefully it's an area we just can continue to grow, be a little bit better every time we take the ice.
RPI coming up this weekend, a team that Miami has not played for quite a while, 8 years. As far as what they have done so far, not a lot to look at. They do put the puck in the net, though. But they also maybe give up some goals as well. So how do you kind of look ahead? I don't know how much you've had a chance to look ahead to RPI.
Yeah, we've watched them, and again, I don't want to sound like a broken record here. The main focus is us, but we certainly as a staff have watched them plenty. Their team, I'll tell you what, from a penalty kill perspective, their power play moves the puck extremely well. They do a really good job of shooting from different areas and different angles. Their guys are all five guys are ready to rip at all times. I think they do a really good job executing. They're a team that scored a lot of goals in the early going here. So, for us, we're a team that's got to defend better. And we're still growing in that area, and we're spending a lot of time in that area. And I think against a team that scored a lot of goals in the early going and has gotten a lot of shots in the early going, that is a real focus point for us going in this weekend, is how hard and how well and how fast can we defend. We'll also, again, trying to spend more time offensively with the puck in the offensive zone, extending possession time so we don't have to go back and defend. I think it's a little bit of balance of both of those things. The more time you spend in the offensive zone, the less time you're going to spend defending. And once you get in and defend, the quicker you defend and the quicker you get out, again, the less time. The key is just you want to spend the least amount of time defending as possible.
Here with Christophe Fillion ahead of Miami's series against RPI, and we'll take some questions.
Christophe, a good bounce back for you guys on Saturday night. So tell us a little bit about what the guys did differently from Friday night's game and kind of turning it up and breaking up that losing streak.
Yeah, I think it was just more about the physicality. Like, we tried to be more physical nights every night, and I think that was one of the key points that Anthony talked about in the locker room after the game. He just thought we didn't play physical enough, and some of our details weren't good enough. So those are things we addressed on Saturday morning, and I thought we had a good rebound from that game, honestly. Thought the guys came ready to play, and we didn't want to get swept 2 weekends in a row.
As you kind of look at it back to that getting swept the weekend before that, and it wasn't that you played bad in those games. How much of this is still you guys all learning to play together? How much of it is kind of that new head coach and learning his system? All those things playing into part.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. Like, we knew we were going to have to face some adversity at some point. So I thought, obviously, you don't want to get swept, but sometimes it's just a wake-up call early in the season where you're like, what we're doing is not right now, so we need to go back to work and get back to what our identity is. So.
You mentioned the physical play and delivering big hits. You've got guys, big, small, all across the lineup that are delivering, laying the leather, delivering big hits all over the ice. Is that a mentality, and how do you get in that mentality?
Yeah, so we want to be hard to play against, obviously, and even as like me as a smaller player, like I try to get in the guy's face, and those are things that I thought I wasn't doing the first couple games, but I got to it last weekend, and obviously got rewarded a little bit. So yeah, so Anthony talks about all of us being physical, and he holds the same standards for guys that are 6'5" or guys that are 5'6" or 5'7". So
Looking ahead to this weekend, RPI, team that you're fairly familiar with over the last 4 years. So your time at Quinnipiac. What do you know about them, and what do you know about their team this year, and what to expect from them?
I don't know a lot about him this year. We haven't looked at pre-scout yet. I think we'll get into that tomorrow. But just from previous year, I think if we get in the O zone when we use the back of the net, like they're gonna collapse in their structure, and we'll be able to get good grade A's if we sustain puck in the O zone. So other than that, if I remember right, the last couple of years their D's weren't that fast. So I think if we can use our speed and just create offense off of that.
This past weekend, there have been stretches where, not just this past weekend, but there have been stretches where goals have been hard to come by. Saturday kind of figured that out in just about every phase of the game, shorthanded, even strength on the power play. So how can you use that momentum? How can you carry that forward and keep that going here this weekend against RPI?
Yeah, so our kill has been really good this year. So I think obviously we don't want to take penalties, but using that momentum from killing penalties is like huge for us. And after a kill, like you see guys on the bench, like we're all fired up. So I think using that energy from kills or like even a power play, like creating chances, even if we don't score, like we want to create chances on the power play. And if we create chances, we think we can create momentum off of that. So just kind of using those special teams and just feeling good about our games, I would say.
The modern game now, at the big picture, it's full of players being able to move around, transfer. You took advantage of that. You got your degree last year at Quinnipiac, but you came here. What's that transition been like for you to come to a new program, a new school, and a new coach, all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty easy, honestly. Like, the guys have been great. I came, after I committed last year in the portal, I came and visited, and the guys were all super nice with me, so it was easy transition. I knew some of the guys coming in also from visiting the past year, but and then with the new coaching staff, obviously I played in the system for 4 years at Quinnipiac, so it was a little adjustment in the first few games, like trying to get those system out of my heads. So those are things that I try to focus on, I guess, like get back to our system, not the system I used to play for 125 games. So. It's been easy. Like the coach has been great with me, and I work with Tibbs like every week, like do video with him about my offensive game. So it's been great.
Don't downplay those 125 games before you got here. One of those was the national championship. Tell us that experience, and you beat University of Michigan, obviously one of those legacy kind of programs, and their assistant coach was Bill Muckald, who we just played this past weekend.
Yeah.
Now at Lindenwood.
Yeah, it was special. Like you just dream about that moment. Like once you get to the regionals, you just got to think it's 4 games. So you want to win 4 games in a row. So that's kind of the mindset we had going into it. And but after we won, like I've mentioned that to Tim before, but it really took 2 weeks for it to set in. Like damn, like we won. So. But before that, yeah, I was just kind of like, oh, it's fun. But you realize it 2 weeks later, and like it's a special opportunity that not every player gets to experience. So,
how do you use that kind of experience to help the young guys that are coming in here now and try to bring that mentality to this program?
Yeah, I just try to lead by example. I'm not the biggest talker in the locker room, whatever. But when I get out for practice or in games, like I try to block shots. I try to forecheck hard. I try to be physical. So honestly, just trying to help those guys, and I do go up to the younger guys and talk to them if I see them struggle a little bit, or just to kind of help them, because I was in their shoes at one point. So, but yeah, really just leading by example, and yeah, trying to rely on that.